Well, now, each and every day after getting out of work, that is around 8 p.m. or whichever the time you usually get out of your work, probably 9 p.m., 10 p.m., or maybe 7 p.m. Please, these are the things that I would like you to do each and every day. And I'm giving you a challenge. Do these things for the next 45 days. And I dare promise you, come on this particular video and tell me whether you won't change your life. And actually the result will shock you. This is Good Joseph, and as always, I make video related to finances, money, and such. And if you've been watching me without subscribing, hey, you've been missing out. What have you been missing out? Me posting a video without you noticing. And if you subscribe and turn that notification bell, you'll be notified whenever I upload a new good video. By the way, there is a whole comment section ready for you. You can put a comment out there. And if you've actually a subscriber, thank you for your eyeballs. Let's get to the business now. What am I talking about? Well, by the way, this is my number out there if in case you need my services in one way or the other. Now, one thing that you're supposed to understand when it comes to you building your future, a day is actually divided into two sections. By the way, if you've never noticed this, I want you to see it today. You find from all the way, say, 8 to 5 p.m., the so-called 8 to 5 or 9 to 5 job. This is when you are employed. Are we together? This is where you are employed. In simple words, it means that you're working on someone's dream. You're working on someone's dream. For example, let's say I start a company and I employ Jane, Joseph, Janet, and what have you. And I employ them. It means I'm paying them salary. By the way, back then it used to be called wage or wages. When I pay them, I'm actually trading their expertise, time, and skills to work on my company as I push my company to the next level so that they become better and better. Not them, but the company. So they are working for me. So when you are employed, you are working for that particular company or that particular institution. So you've already traded your 8 to 5 p.m. to you growing someone else. Now, when you are coming back home, let's say you usually reach home at around 7 p.m., all the way to 7 a.m. the next day, you have a whole 12 hours. Logically, within this time, you need to sleep, which is very healthy. Logically, you need to make sure that you take your shower, you eat, and what have you. But the moment it hits around 8:30 p.m., I'm assuming that probably you are available or you are free. Please, a disclaimer to those people who usually do the job at night. They can do the inverse and find their own time. So what am I saying when you get this particular time? Now, from 8:30, probably you have like 2 hours here, only 2 hours. By the time we are hitting 10:30, it's now your sleeping time. This is where now I want you to build yourself. Build yourself. Build yourself. And how do you build yourself? First of all, that you're supposed to understand, wealthy or riches, however you call it, blessings, it is never achieved by virtue of you working for someone else, unless you are building networking here. Building of your future and your wealth and riches is actually created by you focusing on yourself. And how do you invest on yourself? This is where you can decide to learn a skill to up on what you understand more. This is where you can decide either to purchase some of my books and study about areas of investments such as FIF, such as extended traded funds, that is the ETFs, such as index funds, such as balance fund, equity fund, and what have you. This is when you can now contemplate about starting a business. This is where now you start finding out. You connect with some 2 or 3 people in that locality. Probably you are afraid to an individual who operates a business. Then you can inquire on how the other world is functioning, the world of self-employment, the world of businesses. This is when you focus on these next 2 hours growing yourself. You focus and strategize yourself. When was the last time you had a silent sitting and then you hear yourself think? When was the last time you sat down with a pen and paper and ask yourself, I've been employed for the next or for the last 10 years. I earn X amount of money. I usually use this in terms of my recurrent expenditures. This is what is left. What have I done so far in that period of 10 years? And by the way, how do I see myself in the next 10 years? Where will I be? Oh, and by the way, if I do have kids and one day or whatever I have my retirement, how do you view about yourself? What actually is you? How would you like to be remembered? How would you actually to pursue that what you were created for if you are a believer? Now, the point is, at this particular hour, before you even retire to rest or to sleep, this is where now you take 2 hours and focus about yourself. This is where you sharpen the skill. This is where you focus on the areas that you have weaknesses about. This is the time you actually ask yourself, I actually have a problem on how I spend my money. I can actually term myself as a thrift spender. I spend my money anyhowly. You figure out and ask yourself, is there anybody, say, in the internet that had such kind of a challenge of spending money anyhowly? They actually are spender on consumers. And how did they get themselves out of that? How can I kick out this consumerism? How can I get it out of my life? Because it affects a lot. You ask yourself, oh, should I adjust on me having the idle cash? Or is it because of the friends whom I usually hang around with? Or do I spend my money just to fit in with my friends and what have you? Or is it because where I live it tends to be a bit expensive? If I was to change there is this time that now the reality kicks in when you become more logical than emotional. You start focusing about your life. Oh, and by the way, outside what I studied in university or college, what do I understand? What am I good at? Because people or the world does not reward general knowledge. It rewards a specific knowledge. Nobody will pay you because you generally know, you have a general information about something. No, people pay cream de la cream. You must be very good and particular in certain area for the people to get their money out of their pocket to pay you to solve their problems. That's a reality. And that's why you find when people go and study medicine, they keep on specializing. They graduated with medicine and surgery, they go do oncology, they go do urology, they go there, they do virology, they do something with genetics, they become more specific cardiologists, more specific gynecologists, so become more specific. So that means that you're actually getting yourself out of the crowd to the upper part, and when you actually stand out of the crowd, that is when you get yourself. You ask yourself, how can I negotiate the salary from where I am employed? How can I better my life more than I do? Or by the way, how can I take advantage of the locality that I live in with my expertise? I saw somebody who is actually a doctor. He's what do we call them? These guys who treat the eyes. Is this ophthalmologist? I don't know. These guys who deal with the eyes, yeah. The guy decided to be a change in the community. He usually have some donors and some of the specs and what have you, and he time to time he organizes to test people's eyes and see how they can solve them. He gives them that particular shades and what have you. He talks with the locals, he helps them. Hey, do you have a kid with a problem? Whatever he does in his professionalism, he has brought it into the community, and he's trying to make sure that effect is being felt. That guy is vying for a certain post in there, and without a doubt the guy will win. He's the most embraced in that particular region. You see, now he's transforming from, because even getting in politics in a way, it's also another source of income, isn't it? So the guy is actually changing the way he does his thing to make sure that he has an influence to the people, because listen, the more money you'll make is directly proportional to the number of people you influence. That's a reality, because the money you want is actually in people's pocket. And I told you here sometimes back, you can't make money, you attract money. So if you become a magnet that attracts all of it or a lot of it, it will flow into your pocket. Money is energy. You don't break the cord. Are we together? So now, when I say when it reaches at this particular hour, it's the hour of figuring out of who is yourself. And I am not telling you that you figure out yourself within a week, you have changed yourself completely. No, you have a whole of 45 days to do that. And if you don't see any results, please stop doing it and come here and say, hey, Joseph, you lied. It doesn't work. Now, but if you are consistency for the next 45 days, picking those 2 hours, you can separate these 2 hours into this. Have 1 hour figuring out about who is you, what do you want. Then the next hour, find out what we call the actionable steps. What can I actually do? Oh, I have a problem with procrastinating. Now, if I have a problem with procrastinating, what contributes me to procrastinate? Is it fear? Is it the people whom I hang around with? Is it self-esteem? Now, how do I work on my self-esteem? I work on my language. How do I get rid of fear inside of myself? My Bible tells me that God created us this power, the fear, the power and we don't have the fear, and we also have what we call, the love and such kind of things. Now, how do I get myself into that? How do I improve myself? Oh, which book do I need to read so that I can understand how the money functions? How do I invest? Which channels should I follow for me to equip myself with that? After now, I watch and I follow and I read. Again, you're not doing the actions. Are you together? You're just hyping yourself. You're being motivated. Now, how do I trickle down to that? Let's say, for example, there is that small thing, just like spreading your bed. Usually don't spread your bed. Usually go to a job without doing it. All right. So if you decide to change that character, I never jog, you never exercise. Just do 5 push-ups. No, not a lot. Don't even do 20. Just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You leave it. You go. Tomorrow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're changing the personality. Again, you realize there is some friends who messes you up. Reduce the rate at which you guys are conversating with each other. Number 3, you ask yourself, I usually spend my money on some unnecessary thing. You quit on that. Don't quit like instantly. Just reduce the quantity, reduce the quantity. You know what you're doing? You're changing a certain, or you're kicking in some logic inside of yourself, and you're bringing in a whole of a new individual. But the now you clock the 45th day, there you have yourself a whole personality by your side that you can even decide to go ahead and do what? Transform yourself and focus on doing other things. I'm telling you, this is when the dreams are made. This is when somebody sits down and decides to write a book. This is the time, let's say you are a writer. Just go ahead and write that particular book. Just go ahead and write it. I know you'll be like, oh my goodness, if I write that particular book, how do I even sell it? How do I even make money out of that? And what have you? Just write the book. Take that 1 hour. Go before your computer. Write even if it's 5 pages. Not 5 pages rather, but 5 paragraphs. Then after that, read that 5 paragraphs, then go sleep, come again tomorrow, do the same thing continuously. You will have done yourself a miraculous and a wonderful thing. And then once you write that particular book, don't even focus on selling it. Go to your colleagues, go to some people, donate that book, maybe in an e-form way. Come, you can find some few coins, partner with the influencers, they can popularize the book, and voila, you have yourself an engagement. You have yourself a business. You have yourself another stream of income. The thing is, you people, you wake up in the morning, you go to a job, busy, 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 busy. After that, you come at the evening, you're thinking about the supper, you eat, you drink, you you sleep, again, you wake up, You've never even gotten yourself to the. And when you, maybe, for example, making this video on holiday. Oh, today is on Good Friday. For the believers, today is Good Friday. We're having a whole of a long weekend. So if it is this particular weekend or this particular holiday, guess what happens now? You don't even focus on yourself. You focus on, instead of educating yourself, you focus on entertaining yourself. Oh, it's time to go for a road trip, enjoying yourself and enjoying yourself. And listen, personally, I'm also an addict of road trips and traveling and what have you. But for me, I attach that with knowing and learning new things out there and finding out what can the opportunity be in this particular place and what have you. In anything you do, please focus on educating yourself, not just entertaining yourself. It is good to enjoy, it's good to entertain yourself, but also have some elements of educating yourself. Learn some things, learn some skills. In that manner, I'm telling you, you're going to have a whole transformation as far as your life is concerned. And this is good, Joseph. By the way, allow me to tell you goodbye. This is the end of this particular video, but don't forget, that happens to by number in case you need my services in one way or the other. Go ahead and grab it, give me a call, let's talk business, all right? And I believe just like an iron sharpens another iron, so do we learn from each other. For now, it's a goodbye and see you in the next time.